All right, let's dive in. We're talking clear communication for all you technical writers, documentation experts, and IT folks out there.
Really important stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Senior technical writer Curt Robbins, you know him, right?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he suggested this great article, Advice for New Technical Writers, by Steve Arrants. It's packed with helpful tips.
I'm ready to unpack those.
Me too.
Yeah.
Especially the one about being stingy with courtesy.
Mm.
Kind of throws you off, doesn't it?
It's definitely counterintuitive.
Totally. But, hey, before we get to that, what struck you about Arrants' emphasis on plain language?
Well, for me, it's about getting back to basics. Arrants really nails it when he says clear and concise writing is crucial, especially in tech.
No arguing there.
It's about making things easy to understand, transferring knowledge without all the jargon and complexity.
Like, imagine trying to follow directions using landmarks you've never seen. That's what it's like reading unclear technical writing.
Frustrating, right? And think about all the support calls that could be avoided with clearer instructions. So true. And Arrants gives a great example comparing input your choices to type your choices.
Simple change, big impact.
Huge. It's all about meeting users where they are. Just like those confusing furniture assembly instructions that feel like they were translated from another language.
Ugh, those are the worst.
Seriously. We need to guide users, not make them pull their hair out.
Totally agree. And that's where precision comes in. Arrants uses the example of explaining software preferences.
I remember that one. Instead of just saying use preferences to set different options, he goes into detail.
Right, he's very specific, like click system preferences to view and modify software settings, such as display, cursor, ribbon, and fonts.
Almost like he's right there with the user, guiding them step by step.
Exactly. It might seem like too much detail, but it prevents guesswork and those frantic searches for more information.
Which, let's be honest, no one enjoys doing.
Absolutely. So yeah, precision is key to a smooth user experience. Okay, now for the politeness puzzle. Arrants says to be stingy with please and thank you in technical documentation. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one.
Yeah, it sounds a bit odd at first, doesn't it?
Like, isn't politeness always a good thing?
Well, think of it this way. It's not about being rude. It's about maintaining a neutral instructional tone.
Okay, I see where you're going with this.
Like, imagine a cookbook recipe. Would it really help if every instruction started with please preheat the oven to 350 degrees, please whisk the eggs and sugar together? It just wouldn't sound right.
No, it wouldn't.
So the focus is on clear, direct instructions.
Got it. So courtesy has its place, but in technical writing, clarity is king.
Precisely.
Next up, active voice.
Oh.
Arrants has this brilliant analogy where he compares passive voice to listening to instructions underwater.
Oh, yeah, I love that one.
It perfectly captures that muffled confusion.
Definitely. Active voice is like coming up for air. It makes instructions so much more direct and actionable. He compares, when all the options have been set, click OK, to after setting all the options, click OK.
Subtle difference, but I see how the active voice makes it a clear command, not just a suggestion.
Exactly. And that's important for instructions.
For sure. Now, how about consistency? I think we've all experienced the frustration of seeing different terms for the same thing in a document.
It's like trying to solve a puzzle with missing pieces.
Totally. It undermines the credibility of the whole thing. Arrants is spot on when he stresses consistent terminology throughout documentation.
And it goes beyond clarity. It's especially crucial for localization.
Localization, of course.
Think about the translators. Having consistent language ensures accuracy and keeps the meaning clear for global audiences.
Right. A detail we might overlook, but it makes a big difference in reaching a wider audience.
Absolutely.
So moving on to visuals. Arrants is all about using graphics and screenshots strategically to aid understanding.
And he emphasizes strategically. Too many visuals can be distracting. It's about using them purposefully to enhance clarity.
Makes sense.
And we also need to consider accessibility.
You mean like
Making sure images have descriptive alt text for screen readers, or ensuring the design is easy to navigate for users with visual impairments. It's about making information accessible to everyone.
I get it. Everyone deserves access to clear information.
Exactly.
And last but not least, acronyms.
Yeah.
Arrants is a big advocate for spelling them out at first mention.
Oh, absolutely. Especially in technical fields where jargon is everywhere. Not everyone knows those industry-specific acronyms.
You're telling me. I still get lost in some technical documents.
It's like trying to read a secret code sometimes.
So spelling it out the first time helps ensure everyone's on the same page. It's a small thing, but makes a huge difference in clarity and accessibility.
I totally agree. It's a simple courtesy that goes a long way.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's like you were saying before about those acronyms. Little things, but they can make or break the user experience.
for sure. And speaking of making information easier to grasp, Arrants really pushes for using lists effectively.
Lists. Oh yeah, they're great for breaking up those walls of text. Makes everything much more scannable, right?
Totally. It's like giving your eyes a break. You can see each point clearly laid out instead of getting bogged down in a massive paragraph.
He gives a good example, turns this long, complicated sentence into a nice, concise list.
Much easier to follow.
Way easier. While we're on the topic of making writing better, Arrants has one more piece of advice. He says, collaborate with an editor.
That's interesting. Why do you think that is?
Well, sometimes when you're so deep in the writing you miss things, it's hard to see your own errors.
Makes sense.
A fresh pair of eyes, especially from a professional editor, can catch those typos, improve the flow, all that good stuff.
It's like having a second set of highly trained eyes on your work, making sure it's polished and ready to go.
Exactly. So just to recap, we've talked about plain language, being precise, that whole stingy with courtesy thing, active voice, consistency, visuals, acronyms, and lists. Oh, and of course, getting that editor's feedback.
Phew, that's quite a toolkit for effective technical writing.
It is, and it shows how much thought goes into creating documentation that people actually enjoy using. It's not just about conveying information, it's about making the whole experience, well, good for the reader.
Right. Engaging, accessible, all that. It's funny, that courtesy advice really stuck with me.
It is kind of a head-scratcher.
It made me think, even though it's specifically for technical writing, could we be overdoing the whole courtesy thing in other professional settings too? Like, is it sometimes hindering clear communication?
Now, that's an interesting question. You're wondering if all that politeness might sometimes mask our true intentions or make it harder to be direct.
Exactly. Maybe there are times when a more assertive but still respectful approach would be more effective.
It definitely challenges the idea that more courtesy is always better. Makes you think about how our language choices affect communication in different situations.
It does. Maybe we need a more balanced approach. Clarity and respect.
I like that. Finding that balance is key.
So to all our listeners out there, I encourage you to take a look at your own writing habits. Whether you're a technical writing pro or just starting out, there's always something to learn from Arrants' advice.
He really gives us a framework for thinking about technical writing with purpose and empathy. Even small changes in our language can make a big difference in how effectively we communicate.
So give those tips a try and see how they work for you.
Experiment, see what happens, and most importantly, never stop learning and refining your skills. The world of technical writing is always evolving, so stay curious and embrace those challenges. You never know what interesting insights you might uncover.
I love that. Always be learning. Well, that about wraps it up for this deep dive. Hope you all found it insightful and, well, helpful.
It's been a pleasure sharing these ideas with you. And remember, no matter what you're writing, a user manual, a technical report, even just an email, those principles we discussed today can help you communicate more effectively.
So go out there and write with clarity, precision, and maybe a little bit of that Arrants-style stingy courtesy. We'll catch you next time.
Yeah, it never stops, does it? There's always something new to learn, especially in a field like technical writing. It's always changing.
So true. And with technology evolving so fast, well, the way we write about it has to keep up, right?
Absolutely. It's not just about the latest gadgets and software. It's about how people actually use this stuff and how we explain it in a way that makes sense.
Right, because it can get pretty complicated out there.
It can, and that's where the real skill comes in, finding that balance, between technical accuracy and language that's actually user-friendly.
It's like you're a translator, almost, bridging that gap between complex tech stuff and the people who need to use it.
Exactly. And that skill, being able to translate like that, it's super valuable.
I bet. Think about all the industries where clear technical communication is critical. Healthcare, finance, manufacturing, education.
Oh, yeah. It's everywhere.
Really, it's about empowering people with information,
Yeah.
giving them the tools to navigate all this technology, which, let's face it, can be overwhelming.
For sure. And that's a really important goal, isn't it? Making things easier to understand.
Absolutely.
Because when we do that, when we communicate effectively, we make things possible.
Well said. I think that's a perfect note to end on. So, To all our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive into the world of technical writing.
It's been a pleasure.
We hope you found it insightful, maybe even a little inspiring.
And remember, no matter what you're writing, whether it's a user manual, a technical report, even an email, those principles we talked about today can help you communicate better, make your message really hit home.
So go out there, write with clarity, be precise, and maybe channel a little bit of that stingy courtesy we talked about. Until next time.